Our focus standard for this lesson comes from Grade 7, Number Systems, Standard 3, Solve real-world and mathematical problems involving operations with rational numbers. Our topic comes from our Adding and Subtracting Integers unit, Subtraction word problems. Our essential question is, what are key words and phrases to help us interpret subtraction word problems? Please take a moment, pausing the video if you need to copy down the topic and essential question, along with today's date, set your question column and your note column, and resume the video when you're ready to begin. So as the essential question mentions, we're going to start today by looking at some keywords. So I'd like you to pause the video here and copy down our table and see if you can figure out how many of these words you feel comfortable with and if any of them are new to you. And then resume the video when you're ready to continue. Alright, so you can see I've divided up into two main sections, words for positive integers and words for negative integers. And then I kind of also then subdivided it into words that we use for money, movement, or just some others. So all of these under money we're probably pretty familiar with: earned, saved, deposit, profit. Under movement we have ascended, rose, climbed, gained. Ascended is one I know in class we've talked a little bit about, and it means to move up, which would make sense since it's under the positive integers. Some other words that we sometimes see representing positive integers is one, increased, or above. Over here for negative integers, under money we have spent, cost, withdrawal. Withdrawal is a money term. When you take money out of an account, you are making a withdrawal. Under movement we have descended, fell, down, dove. Descended, as you can see, is the opposite of ascended, and so it means to move downward. Other words we sometimes run across is lost, decreased, and below. So now that we have kind of a familiar understanding of some keywords for integers, let's get into our first problem. So in our first problem, Hannah received her most recent bank statement. It stated that she had a balance of $1,225.75 in her account. She noticed the bank had wrongfully charged her a fee of $25. She called the bank right away, and they removed the fee. What is her correct balance? So think about this problem, and I realized there's a word in here that I thought was in our list, and it's not. And that word is fee. What do you think? Where does it belong? Definitely in our money column. But would it be a positive integer or a negative integer? They charged her a fee. Well, if you said a negative integer, I would agree with you. So I'm going to go ahead and add that in here now. Alright, so let's look at this. Think about how you might set up the subtraction problem, pausing your video if you need to, and then resume the video when you're ready to compare your work with mine. Alright, so you can see I've started to set it up, and what I've noticed from the story problem is that she had a balance, or started, we know that she had $1,225.75. So I put that there. And then I noticed that we need to subtract some number to find her new balance, her correct balance. And right here they have the words removed the fee. I'm going to highlight that. So removed is what told me to subtract, because if we're removing or taking away, and fee is a negative integer. That's the word we just discussed. So I was going to replace n with the integer negative 25. like that. So this was the balance on her statement, and when she called them, they removed the fee, so we subtracted a negative $25. What is that going to equal? Well, you can think about our number line model or our chip model, and in either way, so our correct answer would be $1,250.75. After they removed the fee, her correct balance should have been this. One thing I want you to notice is that we could have written the problem this way. Starting with a balance of $1,225.75, which is what her statement said when she first got it. And when they removed the fee, that they added back $25 to her account, right? That's another way to think about the problem. And that also would have equaled $1,250.75. So it's just something interesting here that we wrote this subtraction problem, but we could write an equivalent addition problem and get to the same answer. Those are some patterns I'd like you to continue to think about as we go through our subtraction problems. Let's take a look at one more. Scientists have noted that the coldest temperature ever recorded in Antarctica for a world record was negative 135 degrees Fahrenheit. Recently, they discovered that in the basins of the East Antarctic Plateau, in some weather conditions, temperatures can drop 13 degrees from the previous recorded temperature to reach a new world record. What is the new world record for the coldest temperature? So again, I want you to pause the video and see if you can write a subtraction problem for this. Alright, let's check in. So as I've started to write my subtraction problem, I started with the coldest temperature up here, the previous record, which was negative 135 degrees. And from that, I know it's subtraction because it says it can drop 13 degrees. So drop told me to subtract. And then I would say that this is a positive integer right here. So I'm going to set up my subtraction problem to read negative 135 minus 13 to show that I'm dropping or subtracting another 13 degrees. And where would that land me? Well, maybe you've thought about this as a number line or with chips, but I would say that that would take me to negative 148 degrees as the new world record for the coldest temperature. Alright, so can you notice any other way that we could have written this, maybe as an addition problem? Think about that for a minute and then let's compare. So I was noticing that we could still start our problem with negative 135 to represent the original world record, or the last recorded world record for the coldest temperature, and then think about this as it's an additional drop in 13 degrees, and drop could mean a negative integer. It's not on our list, but we could definitely add it. And so we could think about, well, it goes an additional 13 degrees down, and so think about that as a negative integer. And if we added negative 135 and a negative 13, we would still equal a negative 148. So just a couple things that I wanted you to take a look at today is that there is some equivalence with some subtraction problems and addition problems, and to be thinking about, do we think that we could write an equivalent addition sentence for every subtraction problem? So food for thought as we wrap up our video here and come ready to examine more subtraction and integer word problems.